I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times. I don't like him. I don't like that he going out there and he firing people. I think that he's a crook because somehow the rest of us can't sit around and get whatever federal contracts we want. The rest of us can't sit around and get law enforcement and get them somehow ordained as federal law enforcement to protect him. The rest of us can't get our dealerships protected by the federal government. That is somebody that is operating above the law. For whatever reason, just because he has a lot of money, more money than everybody else. And yes, I am happy to see that on my birthday, which is what I said, there were peaceful protests around this world against him because he is a problem. And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law. The reason that our party, or I won't even say our party, our country is torn apart is because we can't even agree on right versus wrong. This should not be left versus right. The only thing that we're asking is that we have law enforcement that will show up when there is an actual crime. If somebody calls and says, hey, I need you to investigate this cyber crime, or I need you to investigate this child pornography, or I need you to investigate this robbery, then we want somebody to show up, and we don't want them to look at us and act as if just because I'm black or because I'm woman that I am not worthy of having that case investigated, because we have an administration that is continuously railing against diversity, equity, and inclusion, or we don't need people that show up that feel like diversity should not be valued. That is why we should have somebody that may show up and looks like me.
Representative Jasmine Crockett has expressed strong views on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. She criticized efforts to eliminate DEI programs, highlighting the importance of these initiatives. Her comments reflect a broader conversation about how DEI impacts different communities and the challenges they face. Jasmine Crockett believes that efforts to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI programs, can be particularly harmful to minority groups. She argues that such programs are essential for addressing historical and systemic inequalities that have disadvantaged these communities. Crockett has emphasized that DEI initiatives are not about giving undue advantage to any group, but about leveling the playing field, so that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed. Her stance highlights a commitment to ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their background, have access to fair opportunities and support. Jasmine Crockett, a U.S. representative, has been vocal about the significance of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. She has emphasized that these programs are essential for ensuring fair treatment and opportunities for all individuals, particularly marginalized communities. Crockett has been critical of actions or policies that she perceives as undermining these efforts, arguing that dismantling DEI initiatives can harm progress toward equality. Her stance reflects a commitment to advocating for policies that support diverse and inclusive communities. Jasmine Crockett's perspective on diversity, equity, and inclusion underscores her belief in the necessity of these programs to foster a fair and just society. She often highlights the role that DEI initiatives play in addressing systemic inequalities and ensuring that all individuals have access to the same opportunities. Her advocacy is rooted in the belief that promoting diversity and inclusivity benefits society as a whole by creating environments where everyone can thrive.
The final thing that I'll say, because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, let me tell you something. When I walk in, I'm going to walk in with a level of rapport and understanding that maybe some of my other colleagues will not. Charlie offered me my job, and I worked my butt off, and I worked really, really hard for all of my clients, not just those that look like me. And that is what it looks like to serve. Thank you.